Okay, so my fatness to fitness, there I'm back again, fam. Few people. I know there's not too many, but we're growing, all right? And that's what's important. This video is about 5 ways, easy ways to get started in exercising. And I have my notes here because they help me. As you know, I kind of, as your guests getting to know, I seem to ramble. So my attention kind of varies. So as the thumbnail there shows, from like one of my best, I would say, to my worst, what did I do at my worst to start exercising? And that's for all of us bigger people. And maybe your whole life you've told yourself and you've been told that you're just not a runner, you're not a walker, you're not a gym goer, you're just not that guy. If I can edit that, I would. I have to learn those things. All right. So 5 easy ways to get started exercising. Number 1 for this is set a time of the day to start. So this is going to go into the others, but let's just pick on walking right now because it's pretty easy. Whether you have a dog, whether it's just a good time of the day. So the 3 easiest times of the days that I could think of for working people. One is morning, early morning before the kids get up. Go on early morning walk. And obviously you and your couple might have to take turns doing this. So one stays home with the kid, but one goes in the morning. And then if not, you have lunchtime during work. You take a few minutes, go for a lunchtime walk. And I'm talking about like 5 to 10 minutes, up to 20, 30 is great. But I would start small. And then the final is like evening walks, family walks. This could be with the entire family if you want to make it like a tradition every night. And actually speaking from personal experience, I remember my family would do like Sunday walks or Monday walks. I can't remember, but I just knew it was consistent that we'd do like family walks. We had a dog at the time and we would do like longer walks. It was good for him. It was good for us. And it was kind of like a fun thing that the family got to do. So I remember those a lot. And it's something that I would do. Set a time every day that's going to work best for your guys' timing. That's going to be able to, I guess, last the longest. So if that's every night, 7 o'clock at night or before bed, I don't know what that's going to be for your guys. And depends on like the age of kids you have too. One's bedtime, maybe it's right after bedtime, so 8 o'clock at night. You can do a quick walk, 20, 30 minutes, call it good. And my next one, an easy way to start exercising is to join a group. In this case, you could just grab a few friends, be like, hey, we want to start a run, like a little walk, your neighborhood buddy or two. Like, hey, do you want to join me on walks in the morning? My husband's staying in with the kids, and I just didn't want to be alone. Do you want to do that? Or is that something you want to do? I would just mainly add someone to keep you accountable. So you can kind of help with that routine to keep it consistent. Get a dog. I would even say that sometimes helps. Don't buy a dog just for this. But join a group. Have a friend. Join a friend into your goals, right? Someone that can proximity-wise be there. So it may not have to be even a close friend. Maybe it's the old lady that already likes to walk and you see her walking every day around like 2 in the afternoon. You're like, you know what? I'm going to ask her if I can join her. Whatever. Make it happen. Third step. Take a yoga class. Okay, not yoga specifically, but take some kind of class. Whether it's a gym class, because I know I've done a few at my local gym. They have like pump, fitness, maracha, karata. It's like the dance ones. Zumba, that's it. And I've done these, so I'm not making fun of them really. Like, they're fun, and they're kind of fun to... I've joined them, and I've shook my tits, and it was fun, and I felt embarrassed, but it was great because my tits were like flapping, hitting my face, and yeah, so a lot of shaking and jiggling going on. But yeah, join a class. Go to the very back. And when I joined the very front, when I joined the very back, depending on level of confidence you have. And it could be a new skill. So boxing, like fighting, take a class, maybe a couple times a week. And that's why it's so nice to start small too. Let's say you can only afford once a month or something. Well, I mean, once a week. Do something like that. Dancing class, a swimming class. But start doing a class. Something that you're like, you know what, that's going to be fun. It'll be a new skill. I've always wanted to do that. And it's going to be something that would keep you active, right? So not like a painting class or something. I'm talking about like active, right? Because we're just taking baby steps into activity. Another easy way to get yourself to exercise and start exercising is, this is more like a mantra, incantation that you would use for yourself, is making that should into a must. So, there's a lot of things in our life that we're like, yeah, that's like I should do this, I should do that. So it's a should life. As soon as you make that should into a must, you change, you make it happen. Instead of, I should walk more, I should exercise more. Whatever your exercise is, yeah, I should go with my friend, I know, they always invite me. Oh, I should, take my family at night, or me and my husband should take a walk, I should, every lunchtime, whatever your situation, I should. Instead, make it, I must go on a walk. I must. And make, I must go to that class. This is good for me. Maybe it's like your only social outlet, with all COVID stuff, right? So make that should into a must. And then the last one kind of encompasses all of them. Step number 5 is start with something that you actually like. I'm not saying love, because not everyone has passions. So like, you know what? I've always been able to do fencing or tennis or something, Some people don't love any of that. They're like, I'll watch people on TV do that stuff. That's cool. And that might be you. Cool. I know that. I've been there. You see the thumbnail. And I'm coming back out of that, I became a spectator instead of a doer. And, so pick something that you actually enjoy, something that you like, or you would like. Maybe I might like that. Start with that. That's exactly where you start. And then, of course, start small. There's very few people, I feel, it's not always literally cut in half. It's like maybe 20-30%. I feel people are like balls to the walls. They're like, you know what? I'm all in or all out. So I'm going to do a mile. Do something that you can do consistently. And this is why I say start small. Because I remember when I started walking, I lived near an uphill, of course. So it was terrible because that was the beginning of the walk. And walk/jog. I call it a jog, but I would walk most of it when I started, and that's fine. I walked, and I remember starting, sometimes I'd start inclining, I'm like, and this is where I stop. And so then I turn back, and guess what? That's good. I walked out there. That's good. Even though it was only 5 minutes, and I walked back, I started. And then I eventually, after a while, I got the courage to, instead of walk straight back, make a square out of it, right? And then I'll walk to that point. I don't want to do the uphill, and I'll just, it levels out, and then I go back kind of down or straight down back to my house. So I made a square out of it, and it was longer. And then eventually I felt my knees, my body, it was really, this could take the challenge of the hill. And I would trudge up that hill, and I remember not getting too far. It was 2 streets, so 2 neighborhoods, so 2 blocks. I'm out, and I just go straight back down. Downhill was nice. It actually hurt my knees, so I tried doing the straight back down, and then I had to go to level up. So, because going downhill, your knees, you can feel the impact on that, especially if you're like my picture and you're heavy. So go easy on the knees and go at your own pace, like I'm telling you. So eventually, it slowly just crept up, where your endurance, you kind of get used to, your body gets used to it. The breathing may never change, where you're and there's that certain part of the walk where your breathing is just ridiculous, and then of course at that same time someone walks by to say hi, and you try to keep it cool. You're grab your hips, and you're like, what's up? You don't want to say anything because you can barely talk. You want to puke. I know that feeling. I remember there's a part up on my hill where there was always a guy mowing the lawn. I swear he'd mow every day because he was always up there, and he always like wanted to say hi. I'm like, I don't want to wave, man. Like I'm barely making it up this hill. Like I might die on your lawn. Like there's a good chance. So you might have to like clean me up or something, pick me up in one of your bags for the yard. I don't know. It's just, I get it. And not only that, but I hated in the beginning walking, and then especially when I started jogging where the jiggling was really happening, hated doing that in front of public. Like traffic was public to me. So I would like do it sneakily late at night where there weren't as many cars, except there's always that one car down that random street that you're on, and its headlights are going like, hey, what? And they're like slowing down. You're like, no, like let me jog and jiggle in peace, like, and in secrecy, please. And I know that's like a lot of shame, and like it's sadly like a lot of it's something we have to get over, but you can't unless like exposure therapy, right? Unless it happens repeatedly. And soon enough, like you become the guy or the girl wearing the tank top, right? And you might still have some chub lubs, and that's fine. Like I remember the first time I took off my shirt for a jog, and I thought I had lost weight. And then you see yourself jogging topless. Well, for guys, not girls, obviously. But I say topless because I had tits still. I'm like, holy crap. I'm like, they're moving. Like, this is terrible. What a bad idea. And I saw guys do it. And I'm like, they look great. Like, you see muscles rippling. And I'm like, they're like, oh, it was terrible. And the thighs are clapping now, like, woo, going for you. And, yeah, so that was terrible. I put it back on, and I remember now I've evolved, right? I'm all talking about small steps. So I've gone from walking in a linear line, a little bit downhill even, to walking uphill, to now jogging, and then straight, and then uphill. And then once I was jogging uphill, I just increased the run, and to the point finally that felt comfortable, that I'd lost like, I don't know, 40 pounds or so. I'm like, I'm going to take off my shirt. I'm going to go early enough so there's enough people. And I'm going to try to get used to this. Being like, it's okay. Like, your body's okay. You're good. And I still struggled. Like, so I would run. There was always a street that, like, there was no cars. And so I was like, sweet, take off the shirt. And I do my jog. I'm like, oh, shoot. And, like, every car you're looking by, you're like, geez. But then you're also like, hey, this is kind of cool. Like, I've lost some weight. There's some sag, there's some loose, some tits, hairs. But it's okay. Like, it's okay. And then, like, someone comes out, out of their driveway, and you're like running to, like, this is me. This may not be you, but I'm like putting on my shirt and like quickly like running, like, oh hey, like you didn't see me like just topless, and then quickly get startled and then put clothes back on. And I'd carry and like put my shirt back into my pants, and once or my shorts, running shorts. Once I felt comfortable again, I like take it off, like get used to this. Man, like that's a roundabout way of exposure therapy, but I did it eventually, right? And the whole point of my last step, which I think is one of the most, and probably if not the most important step, besides making your shoulds into a must, is just start with something you like. It doesn't have to be running. It could be yoga, hot yoga. Do power yoga. That thing will kick your butt. Zumba kicked my butt and my tits. And, and then just start small. Just slow, incremental. I read there even of a story where someone, this is Atomic Habits, I believe, good book, by the way. Someone was challenged to go to the gym, and what they would do, you have like your persons, and that sometimes helps you go to the gym. You're like, that person's always waiting for me. But if you're just going by yourself, like Han Solo, that's cool. What he would do is he would drive to the gym, and that was enough for him. So if that's all it is, you're just driving to the gym, and then he would go to, he'd be at the gym, and then go home. Cool. Start small. Start with what you can do. And he did that for a while. Eventually he took steps inside the gym to walk on the treadmill. After a couple minutes, like, I'm out, deuces. Good. Chalk it up. It counts. You did something. You are working towards becoming comfortable with exercising. And if you, like I said, if you need help with that, go back to my first video with a thumbnail that I actually started using, not customized, random thumbnails, but customizable ones. The self-talk and the steps, the 3 tips I use there to really change. Because that's where the real change happens, is here. While you're changing out here, it may be slower out here, but you can make big changes in here. So I thought that would help. My 5 easy ways to start exercising. Hope that helps you guys. Leave a like, comment, subscribe, notifications, and all the usual. You guys can do what you want. I will be coming up, like I said, there'll be another video. I'm hoping to post every day, but I'm not promising that because it hasn't become a must yet. It's a should. So right now, I must and I will be posting at least 3 times a week. So keep that in mind. And I hope this was a good, enjoyable 15 minutes and that you learned and took something away. If so, like I said, like it, help the algorithm, and so we can go on and help and inspire and educate more people. Thanks.